us. So guys, I am very excited to introduce you to somebody that is pretty new to my life within the past 2 months, but somebody who has grown to be somebody that I very quickly respected, that I very much value. And he is an influencer and he has a lot of value to share. And so we're going to get into the nitty gritty. But here I have Dave Smith, who is, if you saw the description for this live stream, he is Canada's top fitness professional back in 2013, author, speaker, coach, then founder of the Online Trainers Federation, which is really what I most know about Dave. So he has this community of more than 1,300 fitness professionals that he is certifying into helping them grow their business. And what I really love about Dave, and I was just singing his praises before we went live, the reason that I've quickly just respected the heck out of Dave is because, number one, he gives insane value to his community, like straight to the point, no fluff, amazing value and education. But the other thing is that he is deeply engaged with his community. So whereas a lot of other influencers or experts kind of hold their audience at a little bit of a distance, Dave is like all in. He is constantly creating these Loom videos that he sends to his clients, and he's deeply engaged in his Facebook community. And you can just see the result of that is his following is like so loyal, and they're all in, they're committed, they're serious. And because they are so loyal and committed and serious, they're listening to what he has to say. And because his training is so valuable, they are launching with incredible results. So Dave, seriously, I'm so glad to share the stage with you today. Thank you for just sharing a little bit of your time here with us.
My pleasure, Amber. That was quite the introduction. The only part I didn't like is when people say I was top fitness professional in Canada in 2013. Makes me feel old because that's now 6 years ago. So I've been at this for a long time.
It lives on. Honestly, I have a personal trainer. He was here this morning at 5 a.m. and I was going on and on and on about you. And I was like, you would not believe how lean this guy is. And I've watched his YouTube videos from years ago. He's so dialed in on top of his stuff. And I look at the photos of you that with your now fiance, you guys are working out, doing moves that I don't think I could do those moves in a million years.
Oh, come on.
It's really impressive. So you're top in my mind.
I appreciate that. I turned 39 2 weeks ago. And so hitting that 40 next year is going to be a big hurdle, I think. So I got to stay fit.
What? Wow. That surprises me because I thought that I was older than you are. So I'm 36 next month, and shocking. You look very, very young. That's great.
Likewise.
Well, so, okay, Dave, we're going to go right into it because there's so much value that you could give. And I'm trying to condense these down to like 10-ish minutes if we can, just out of respect for the viewers. But where I really want to start is this idea of launch, because you're taking, personal trainers who may or may not have much business experience, and you're helping them to launch a platform online. And you're very, very focused on ROI and getting results and paying coaching clients. In fact, for the rest of you, how I met Dave was through a mutual client. And that client just landed a new $2,000 a month coaching client as a result of Dave's leadership. So Dave, you obviously know a thing or two about launching. And I'm wondering, like, what are some factors to a successful launch, or what are some key things that you think people really need to be mindful of when they're going out to launch?
It's a great question. I think the launch gets sounding too complicated to most people. And really it's simple. And we talk about this in my OTF group all the time. And there's 3 components to go to a launch. You need an audience. You need a message that gets them interested in whatever it is that you're promoting or you have to offer. And then you need an offer. And when you lay it out like that, like, it's not that complicated. What platform are you going to build an audience on? What is this connecting message that's going to get them really passionate about you? And then the part that I think most people fall short on is, what is that offer that they're going to trade those hard-earned dollars for? When you look at Instagram in particular today, there's all kinds of, I'll use air quotes, influencers out there who have an audience, and they're putting out a message. So they're constantly putting out content but then when it comes time to actually monetize that, they don't have an offer. And so, yeah, Amber, I don't know if that's been your experience as well, but I see in the fitness world, so many people who have this personal training background, and they say, well, I want to turn that into online coaching, but they don't know how that offer translates. Everyone knows how to be a face-to-face personal trainer. How does that translate into having an online business?
That's so true. There are a lot of like little opportunities for disconnects. Offer is a big one, messaging is a big one, confidence is a big one, and I love that you said people are overcomplicating this idea of launch, and it's literally preventing people from making a living, from making an impact. And that is a big reason why I'm doing this live stream series. It's not because I'm like, I don't really have anything to do right now. I wonder what would be a fun project. It's because literally every single day I have calls with solopreneurs, business owners that are just so crushed. They're not getting results. And it's usually back to not having a clearly defined offer, a message, right? Or maybe some of that confidence. So I think you're
Well,
right.
you said something really important is confidence. And you referenced a mutual client of ours who landed this $2,000 a month client. When I met him, he was charging $150 per month for his service. And he was a good coach back then. So this is for personal coaching services. He was a good coach back then, but he hadn't dialed in his offer. And so when he was going into, we're all about sales scripting. When he would get on a sales call, he wasn't confident in his offer. He didn't have a sales script planned out. And so he kind of fumbled his way through this sales call, and then offering $150 on the back end of a non-sales scripted sales call. Even that is scary. But when you have a sales script, and I know everyone who's listening, you've heard this before, like have a sales script, practice. In my OTF group, we all practice with each other. We practice with our friends. And as you practice, feeling good about the way you deliver the words increases your confidence in the value that you're offering in your service. And so instead of saying $150, blurting out it's $2,000 feels a lot more congruent when your presentation is polished. So that sales script and practice is absolutely crucial.
Thank you so much for saying that, because it definitely highlights something that I've noticed. A lot of my clients have real issues around sales. And so I thought that was perfect advice. Thank you. And I also really appreciated, Dave, that you were talking about how you practice with each other inside of your group. So you're doing role playing. I mean, guys, thank you, Dave, for letting me have access into your group so I could be a fly on the wall. And I have been so impressed at the level of engagement and support. They are all like cheerleaders for each other, giving each other real specific pieces of advice that really move the needle. And again, Dave is a stickler for results. Okay, so Dave, I have to put a flashlight here on this idea of community, because most people start a Facebook group and it dies, or they might have a lot of people in the group, but there's very little, involvement and engagement. Was there like a set of strategies that you had to go out, or was it literally like, I'm just going to be in this with my people because that's the right thing to do? Like, how should people approach their communities to get the kind of loyalty and engagement and commitment that you're getting out of your group?
It's really cool because the OTF, the Online Trainers Federation group that you're in, that's just modeled after my online fitness business. So that's what I've been doing for years with my online fitness clients, translate that over, and now that's what I teach to other people. And so it's all about building a culture and teaching people that it's a safe place to share and it's a safe place to support. The last thing we want to do as teachers, we like to have our ego stroked. And so we like to be the smartest person in the room. But that's actually the worst place for you to be, because if you're always the person with the answer, everyone just sits back and waits for you to communicate that answer. So I don't know who said this first. You probably heard this before, that says, if you want to prove to someone that you can get them results, get them results. And so in the Facebook group, that's really like the mantra I live by, is I have a lot of people in there who are prospects who aren't yet clients. And so my job with those prospects is to help get them results. And how can I do that best? Well, I can show them what my clients and I are working on. And it might seem sort of counterintuitive. Well, won't they just take it and run with it? And the answer in like 99% of cases is no, because we all know the value of having a coach, right? They hold you accountable. And once you're paying for something, you got skin in the game. We know all that. And so I look at my Facebook group as an opportunity to let other people get involved, so I'm not the only voice, but then also to display what it is exactly I'm doing with my paying clients so that everyone else gets FOMO, fear of missing out. And Amber, probably every client that I take on, I can say this with pretty good confidence, every client that I take on has been part of my Facebook group. And at some point during our sales call, they will say, Dave, I want to work with you because I've seen how you care about your clients, because I have seen the results your clients are getting, because I have seen how responsive you are, because I've seen that you film Loom videos as opposed to just typing a couple sentences. And so all of those things, it's work. I probably spend about an hour a day on Facebook. And that's work, an hour of my day on Facebook. But when I get to a sales call and I'm going through my sales script, I don't have to overcome price objections. I don't have to overcome like any of those objections that I would have otherwise, because people that get on a call, man, my know, like, and trust with them is through the roof. They're ready to buy. And so the investment, it's so well worth it.
Dude, you guys, do you see why I had to get Dave on this live stream? That was huge, huge value. I hope you were paying attention. In fact, do me a favor, make a comment below and let us know what was the tip or strategy or aha that you've had in the middle of this live stream, because that was gold just now. So thank you, Dave. I love this. We're really in alignment. And I think that something to call out of what you just said, and then I'll move on to the next question, is that you have a Facebook group of not just your clients, but you invite prospects in there as well. And that's actually a strategy that I had heard of maybe 6 months ago, not even. And so before, and I mentioned that because most people out there think you can have a Facebook group for your clients or one for prospects, but not the blend. That's not a strategy that's like widely known out there. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. It's a great way to show prospects the results that you're getting, the community that they're going to belong to. That way they already feel comfortable with that community before even getting on the phone with you. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Amber, if I could say one last thing on that piece is, in my business, so anyone who's watching this that's running any sort of coaching business where you want your clients to do what you're doing, they have to see what it is that you're doing. And so when I allow all these people into my Facebook group, some of them maybe will never buy anything from me ever. And I'm okay with that, because at the very least, they're seeing what a good group looks like, what a good culture looks like. And so if they can take that and just implement what it is that they've seen and never pay me for anything, their business is going to be better for it. And that's awesome. Like I get enough clients, I don't need everyone to buy from me. And so the clients then that I work with, I don't need to teach them what a good culture looks like. I say it all the time in our coaching calls. Hey, do you remember what I did in our OTF Facebook group? You saw me do this to you. Do that to your clients. And they just get it.
Ah, I love it. And I love your core values shining through right now. That's really important to me. So Dave, looking back, you've been a part of a lot of launches, your own launches, one of which just happened pretty recently. And of course, consulting, being a part of launches for your clients, and also colleagues that you've been probably doing, promotional launches with. Of all of those launches, can you think of a couple of like those moments where you're like, dang, that was a really good idea that I just had right there? Or have you seen anything that you want to share here that might help other people in the course of marketing or leading up to their next launch to get better results?
Yeah, I can give you some specific examples, but like a general principle is to think outside the box. So everyone, when they think of launch, they think of like run Facebook ads, run it to some sort of landing page, get them into an email sequence. And that's awesome, but it's ultra, ultra competitive. So what can you do that is different from that will stir up a lot of engagement? Like the online world, not just in fitness, the online world right now is all about community and engagement. So what can you do different from an ad? I'll give you an example. This was, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months ago. I ran this and then taught a bunch of my students to run this as well. I used an app called King Sumo. I don't know if you're familiar with King Sumo.
No.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's a free, it's an online application that allows you to run contests, like viral contests.
Okay.
And so for me, I use my online fitness business as a bit of a sandbox where I can play around and just see what works. And then what works, I teach my students this. And so I ran this contest using King Sumo to give away a Vitamix blender. And I know that my audience in the fitness world, they're generally like menopausal age women. So at 45 to 65-year-olds, like they love Vitamix. And so we did this.
What a great gift.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so I ran this giveaway. So Vitamix, bought a Vitamix for like $500 at Costco, ran this giveaway, no Facebook, like literally $0 in Facebook ad spend. But King Sumo allows you to build in all these like social sharing bonuses. And so if you enter the contest, you know, you get one entry. If you share it on Facebook, you know how those things go, and you build up more and more entries. So I ran this for 5 days and ended up with something like 1,200 leads through this contest. And my cost is $500. So you do some like quick math that works out to like 45 cents per lead. Like, show me a Facebook ad campaign that gets 45 cents. So it was just like a good example of going outside the box. And so again, I taught this to my followers, and then all of a sudden they were very creative. Not just, I didn't see Vitamixes everywhere. You know, they created like packages of workout equipment and like free sessions and just like all this stuff. So that's one example outside the box. The other thing that I'd say, during our launch, so many people get fixated on the launch process, getting that lead, nurturing that lead, like turning that lead into a sales call or whatever it is. And we forget about that principle that I mentioned earlier, that all of our clients, they just want to get results. And so how do we convince them that we're the ones that can get them results? We get them results. And so when I do a launch, I give away my very best content. Like literally, if you opt into one of my launches, you're going to get so much free content, usually directly from the thing that I'm selling or from other things that I've sold before. And I know I used to hesitate at this because you think, well, if I'm giving away my best stuff, well, what are the people paying for?
Right.
But a number of years ago, I bought this course, an SEO course from Brian Dean. I don't know if you know him. He's the guy that owns backlinko.com.
Oh, okay, sure.
So I bought this course, and I don't know, it was like $2,000 or $3,000. And when I got into the course, there's like maybe 12 modules, and I realized I already knew like 8 or 10 of them. And at first I was kind of like, I just bought this thing and I'd already seen you give away all this stuff. But it was so cool because once I had paid and I was in a system, and it was like logically, sequentially taking me through these lessons that I'd already seen, I actually did it. And it was such an eye-opener to me that paying for the process, not paying for the information, is where the real value is.
Wow.
So during a launch, give away the best content you can. And then when people buy, they're getting the process to implement. And it's an absolute game changer when you move from that scarcity mindset, I got to hold all this stuff so tightly, to an abundance mindset of just give it away.
Fantastic. Dave, I know we're so over on time. I know that I've got to get you off of here, but like that was so valuable. And I love when people are willing to get very, very specific. So thank you for the free tool. Thank you for everything that you just shared today. And, you know, this is really the reason I'm talking about launch. And I told you this before we went live, is that I feel like so many people are lost at sea right now when it comes to marketing launches. So I love the fact that you started by saying like, let's make this a little bit simpler. And we really broke it down for people. And this is all in a series leading up to a 2-day live event that I have June 3rd and 4th. Go to authoruplive.com to check out what that's about. Basically, we are giving you a marketing and launch plan that you can implant into your business moving forward. And you can use it for little mini launches. You can use it for significant launches. And it's really going to help you get the right course for your business moving forward. So Dave, a lot of what you shared today feeds into what we're going to be talking about this event. I can't thank you enough for being present with us here today. And so just really quick, I mean, I have to ask one last quick follow-up question for you. The OTF, the Online Trainers Federation, does that have to be for trainers? Like, could somebody technically who doesn't have a training business or maybe just a coaching business sign up for that? Or is that a no-no? Just so I know.
Yeah, well, especially the Facebook group. I encourage, honestly, anyone to join and watch the culture, watch how I work with the clients, and then use that in your own business. Awesome. In terms of like who I actually work with, my goal is to take fitness professionals and really up level their skills so that they're awesome, awesome coaches. But if anyone wants to learn from that process, yeah, come join us in the Facebook group.
There'd be a lot of value in that. So I'm going to put that in the link below. Thank you for that opportunity. All right, guys. So I'm going to end here so that Dave can move on with his day. Thank you for showing up live. Please make comments below. That is our way of donating back to Dave and saying thank you. So do some comments below and we'll catch you guys on the next one.